I used to feel so alone, even when I was in a room full of people. I would sit on my sofa, my phone glowing in my hands, scrolling through pictures of other people's lives. I saw them laughing. I saw them connecting. I felt like I was watching the world from behind a thick pane of glass. The distance between me and my friends felt vast and growing. I would think about calling someone, but then a wave of exhaustion would wash over me. What would I even say? The small misunderstandings with my partner would spiral into big, silent fights. I felt completely and utterly unseen. This feeling wasn't just a mood, it had become my reality. At family dinners, I would sit quietly, letting the old familiar patterns play out. The sharp jokes that stung a little, the conversations that skimmed the surface. At work, I would hold back my ideas in meetings, convinced no one wanted to hear them anyway. Each day felt like I was just going through the motions. I was carrying a heavy weight of unspoken needs and unheard feelings. I was tired, so deeply tired of feeling stuck in a loop of disconnection and quiet frustration. This wasn't the life I wanted. One evening, after a particularly tense day where everything felt wrong, I opened my journal. The blank page stared back at me. I wrote down a single, desperate question. Why does this keep happening to me? The words looked small and sad on the page. I had no answer. I let a few tears fall, a quiet admission of my own unhappiness. I felt lost. I felt like I was walking through a fog, unable to find my way back to the people I loved, or even back to myself. The loneliness was a constant ache in my chest. That same night, searching for something, anything that could help, I stumbled upon a simple idea. It wasn't complicated or mystical. It was a straightforward concept that resonated deep within me. The idea was this: what you give your attention to grows. The energy you put out into the world through your thoughts, your words, your actions is the energy that comes back to you. It was a mindset. The journey didn't start with other people. It had to start with me. The first and most powerful practice I adopted was gratitude. Every single morning, I would write down 3 specific things I was grateful for. I am grateful for the warmth of my blanket. I am grateful for the taste of my morning coffee. I am grateful for the quiet of the early morning. At first, it felt a little forced, but I persisted. Slowly, something inside me started to soften. It was like my eyes were opening to the small pockets of beauty that were already there. This daily practice of gratitude began to change my default setting. My mind slowly started to notice what was right. My heart started to feel a sense of fullness. Alongside gratitude, I set a clear daily intention. This was my one guiding principle for the day. One morning, my intention was, today, I will speak to myself with kindness. That day, when I spilled coffee on my shirt, with a softer heart and a clearer intention, I began to practice with others. The first rule was to listen. Really listen. Not just wait for my turn to talk. In a conversation with a friend who was venting about her job, I put my entire focus on her. I didn't offer advice. I didn't interrupt with my own stories. I just listened. I made eye contact. I nodded. When she was finished, I simply said, "That sounds incredibly difficult. Thank you for sharing that with me." For the first time in a long time, I saw the tension leave her shoulders. She felt heard, and I felt connected. The next practice was to speak with care, especially when things were difficult. I learned the power of "I feel" statements. My partner and I had fallen into a pattern of leaving chores undone, which led to resentment. Instead of saying, "You never do the dishes," I waited for a calm moment. I took a breath and said, "I feel overwhelmed and stressed when the kitchen is messy at the end of the day." This wasn't an attack. This journey was not a straight line to perfection. There were many setbacks. I had days when I was tired, my old reactive habits took over. I remember snapping at my partner over something trivial. The words were out before I could stop them. In that moment, I felt a wave of shame. But the new me had a different path. I took a few deep breaths, walked into the other room, and said, "I'm sorry. I'm feeling really exhausted today and I didn't speak kindly. That wasn't fair to you. Can we try again?" This mindset changed me first. It quieted the storm inside me. It made me a little calmer and a little braver. And then slowly, my relationships began to change too. I am here and I am connected.